Your bank account says you're okay. Your nervous system is still in 2009, hiding cash in a shoebox. You have a real job, a direct deposit that actually clears. Maybe even a small emergency fund, which honestly puts you ahead of most Americans. And yet, you still check your balance twice a day. You feel guilty buying something full price. You quietly panic when an unexpected bill shows up, even a small one. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's a voice that says it could all disappear. That's not anxiety. That's not irrationality. That is a nervous system that was trained during a financial crisis and never got the memo that the crisis ended. Psychologists call it money vigilance. I call it the recession kid's money brain. And if you grew up during the 2008 crash, watched your parents lose a job, a house, or a retirement account, your brain didn't just observe that event, it absorbed it as a survival rule. Today, we're going to decode exactly what happened inside your nervous system and what to do with that wiring now. Let's start with the taxonomy, because bad with money is too vague and way too unfair. Financial psychologists have identified 4 money scripts, the unconscious beliefs your brain runs on autopilot when it comes to cash. Most recession kids land in one of these 4. 1. The vigilant. You track every dollar. You're never quite comfortable spending, even when you can afford it. You save compulsively but still feel broke. This is the most common post-recession pattern. 2. The avoider. Money stress is so overwhelming that you avoid looking at accounts, opening bills, or planning ahead. Research confirms that financial scarcity actually increases financial avoidance behavior, your brain's way of escaping a threat it doesn't know how to solve. 3. The status player. You overspend to signal stability because growing up looking broke was terrifying. Every purchase is a small act of proving the crisis didn't win. 4. The worshiper. You believe more money will finally fix the anxiety, so you work longer, hustle harder, and discover that the number in your account grows, but the nervous system stays on high alert. Which one sounds like your group chat?
Here's where the neuroscience gets interesting. Loss aversion, the psychological force that makes losing $100 feel twice as bad as gaining $100 feels good, isn't a character flaw. It's an amygdala function. Research published in PNAS found that the amygdala is the key brain structure driving loss aversion, essentially running a background threat detection program every time you make a financial decision. When participants in the study had amygdala damage, loss aversion dropped dramatically. Their brains simply stopped screaming danger every time a potential loss appeared. Now imagine your amygdala was conditioned during the 2008 crash. At 14, 22, or 32 years old, you watched the rules of money break. Jobs vanished, home values collapsed, retirement accounts evaporated. Your nervous system logged that event as financial stability is a lie. Prepare for loss at all times. UBS Wealth Management's Emily Pachuta described millennials as permanently scarred by the 2008 financial crisis, carrying what she called a Depression-era mindset, even after they'd rebuilt their financial lives. And it's not just perception. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis warned that millennials were at risk of becoming a lost generation because wealth accumulation lagged historical norms, meaning the financial anxiety many feel is tethered to real structural damage, not just overthinking. Meanwhile, fear doesn't just live in the mind. Prolonged financial stress elevates allostatic load, the biological cost of chronic stress on the nervous system. Your body keeps a running tab of every financial panic, every overdraft alert, every month you weren't sure rent would clear. And that tab eventually shows up as fatigue, brain fog, and a hyper-vigilant threat response that fires even when there's no actual fire. Let's go upstream, because the recession kid's money brain didn't start in 2008 for everyone. Gen X, the latchkey generation, was handed an invisible lesson in the 1980s and 90s. Institutions will not protect you. Pensions disappeared. Defined benefit plans were swapped for the 401k experiment, making individuals responsible for retirement for the first time in history. When 2008 hit, they were in their prime earning years and got hit hardest wealth-wise, and many still feel financially unsteady. A Bankrate survey found that 60% of Gen Xers say financial worry negatively affects their mental health, the highest of any generation. Millennials graduated into the crater, student debt that couldn't be discharged in bankruptcy, a housing market that had just exploded, a job market that handed out unpaid internships where full-time jobs used to be. Many watched their parents lose homes or retirement savings and internalized the rule, the floor can always fall out. Research shows that our financial attitudes are shaped not just by our own experience, but our parents' and grandparents' economic trauma, a phenomenon financial coaches call generational financial transmission. Gen Z is a fascinating evolution. They grew up watching millennials struggle online in real time. They entered financial consciousness during COVID job losses, record inflation, and a housing market that priced out an entire generation. Their money vigilance isn't a recession scar, it's a preemptive wound.
The pattern across all three generations. The nervous system learned money was dangerous before it had the chance to learn money was manageable. Here's what I want you to take from this. The vigilance, the avoidance, the checking your balance at 2 a.m. That was never weakness. That was your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Protect you from a threat it remembered clearly. But threats change, and the nervous system needs explicit new data to update its model. A few practical reframes. Name the script before it runs. When you feel the urge to avoid a bill or obsessively track spending, pause and name it. This is my vigilant pattern. This is an old threat response. Naming activates the prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, and creates a pause between the trigger and the behavior. Build a financial nervous system routine, not just a budget. Rigid budgets fail because they treat money as a math problem. The recession kid's money brain is a nervous system problem. Scheduled, calm, weekly money check-ins retrain the amygdala that looking at finances is safe. Stop measuring safety by the number. The scarcity mindset stays activated even when the account grows, because the rule was never about the number, it was about control. Building genuine financial agency, even in small decisions, sends a more powerful signal to the nervous system than hitting a savings target. Here's what I want to leave you with. If you grew up watching the 2008 crash, if your parents never talked about money or talked about it with panic, if you feel phantom financial anxiety, even when the numbers say you're fine, you are not broken. You are calibrated for a crisis that hasn't happened yet. The work isn't forcing positivity onto a nervous system that learned the hard way. The work is showing it, slowly, repeatedly, that the rules have changed. If this landed for you, there's someone in your life right now who has been calling themselves bad with money for years, who needs to hear this instead. Send it to them. And if you want to keep decoding the behavioral science behind why you do what you do, especially when it comes to money, habits, and stress, you know where to find us. People like us, we don't just live the patterns, we name them. Subscribe to Behaviorology.